Hi guys, I am so very excited to present to you the very first of two schemes I'll be presenting to you today for your property's addition and remodel. What we're going to go through in this video will be the single-story design, and the next video will be the two-story design. So let's jump right in. On this first sheet, we're seeing the zoomed out site plans. We've got the existing demo site plan on the left and the new site plan on the right. There's not a lot of detail on this sheet yet. I'll add that as we go through the process, but more detail will come on the zoomed in floor plan. But what we can see here is that we're demolishing walls in orange, and we're building out new areas here in the back for the dining room, covered pergola, the games room and storage area, and then a carport here in the single-story design, as well as a large screened-in front yard area that could be fenced in with a low fence, and converting the garage to an ADU. So let's zoom in now on the floor plan. So the second sheet in the set will be the zoomed in floor plan with a lot more information and detail shown. And we've also got here in the single story design the demo plan showing, again in orange, the walls that we'd be demolishing and the rest of the walls we'd be keeping. So if I zoom in on the floor plan here and move towards the front, we can start walking through the house together. So we would come up to the entry that's moved all the way up toward the front setback line. This is the 25-foot building setback line that we cannot encroach into. Your garage already does slightly encroach into that, but none of the new addition that I'm showing, other than perhaps this bay window at the front, will protrude into that building setback line. But again, the front porch is here, and the front porch opens both into your foyer as well as into the ADU living room. But let's focus on the main home first. Actually, let's take that back. Let's do the ADU first because it's a bit of a standalone, and then we'll do the main home. So from the front porch, you could enter a side door here. It opens into the ADU living room, which is a conversion of the existing garage. We've got a small space here for coats and storage, as well as a display area that opens out onto the dining area of the kitchen. The kitchen is compact, but not really lacking for any appliances. We've got a 36-inch wide fridge here, sink, dishwasher, 30-inch range, and a trash pull-out area here, and then upper cabinets going all the way around. It's unfortunate the sink doesn't have a great view, but that's going to be okay, given that we'll have nice large windows here looking out onto your really beautiful front yard area. And then from the ADU area, from the ADU living room, we can go into the ADU bedroom, which has its own walk-in closet and access to its own bathroom. I understand the desire to want to have access to the bathroom from both the bedroom and the living space, but I would love to get rid of this door here if possible and just have your parents step out to get to the bathroom if they're okay with that. I don't really like having two doors here like this in this space. I find it's unnecessary, but this would be a solution that would allow access to the bathroom from both the bedroom and the living room. Now, what I really like about this ADU is that the bedroom and the living room both have front yard access, which means lots of nice windows and great curb appeal for this space. The ADU bedroom can also have some windows high above the bed here, or maybe a taller window that goes down to the nightstand level over on this side here, but that's going to give a great balance of light in this bedroom. And what you'll find, I think, in almost all cases for this home and the next two-story design is that every bedroom has access to two exterior walls, which will give a really great balanced natural light for these spaces. So I think we've covered everything that we need to cover in the ADU. So let's go back out to the porch and now head into the main home. The main home has a very nice, decently sized foyer. And in the foyer, we've got a very large coat closet and storage area here. There's a very wide closet. And from the foyer, we also have a view of a barn door that can slide open to reveal an art nook. In the single-story design where we're kind of constrained for space, I like the idea of having the art nook right here just outside of this space that I know that you really like. This front yard space is just a few strides away from your art nook. Perhaps you set up your art easel out here and do some art out here, and then you can store everything away in here and slide this barn door closed and have it be shut off when you're expecting company or having people over. All people would see would be a beautiful barn door and perhaps then some art displayed behind the barn door here on this wall. Here in the living room and home theater area, we've got a solid wall available for the home theater system to live, as well as a bay window here. Now, I'm curious to hear what you say or what you think about this space being used as the home theater, given that I also want to have the bay window here and that it's open to the foyer. Perhaps this isn't the right space for you to have that auditory and visual seclusion that you're looking for, but I do think this is a very nice space to have just off the foyer as a living room. And if it was the home theater, it's pretty far away from the master suite and anyone else in the family room. We've got a long hallway to go before we hear stuff, so maybe this is a good spot for it. But also in this space, we've got another barn door that opens into an office flex space. So perhaps when there's not a movie going on and there isn't company, this barn door is open and you can be working here in this office space and feel like you're just in a little alcove off of a much larger space that's daylit with a nice bay window. But then when company's over, just close off these two barn doors and no one has to see any of the mess inside the space. And while this room isn't exactly big enough and comfortable enough to be in here with the door closed, you could if you wanted to, but I would not want to do that personally because it would be cut off from natural light, unless this barn door was mostly made out of glass, like a frosted glass or a fluted glass. But I'm curious to hear what you guys think about these two little nooks for your office space and your art nook. I like them, but I have bigger spaces in store for you in the second story design. So let's continue up the house. As we continue down the hallway, there's one door that leads into a utility core inside the house. Since we have converted the garage, we have to find room for that very large water heater doors and the water treatment system. And I feel like in this space, along with the washer and dryer and some storage, it might make sense in here for this utility area here to take up what would otherwise be the center darkest part of the house. Now, I do have a solution to daylit this powder room and this bathroom here. This would be the shared bathroom for the second bedroom and the guest bedroom. And then this powder would be what's available for your guests. When you have numerous guests over and you don't want them to have to go into your son's bathroom, this powder room would be available to use, and it would be cleaner and a bit more graciously sized with the vanity and without the shower in here. I think this space would be very nice. And also too, if you have long-term guests staying, like your parents are staying here, then when they're using the bathroom, there is another bathroom available if someone's taking a shower, for example. So to talk about the daylighting for these two landlocked spaces, I think it would be really nice to have a skylight here in the center of this hallway. And since it's a single-story design, there's nothing stopping us from putting a skylight here. And the skylight here in the center of the hallway would be used to light up the insides of these rooms too, with borrowed light through these doors. And then we would borrow light through these two doors for the bathrooms as well to get some natural light into these bathrooms from the skylight here. That's, I think, the cleanest and simplest way to do it, and it gets the most bang for the buck out of the skylight here in the center of the hallway. But what that does require is that these bathroom doors be the kind of doors that I call full light, meaning they have a large panel of frosted glass in them. I love this. I think it's a fantastic way to borrow light from a daylit hallway. But some people have a bit of a concern about using a bathroom where there's frosted glass in the door. I don't share that concern. I think it's quite fine. In fact, until you put your hand up against the glass, you can't really see the profile of anyone standing here at the sink. But we can talk about that in more detail if you like this idea. But let's move on. I'm probably spending a little too much time talking about daylighting these two interior spaces. The home to the left, and we're in the hallway, if we continue to the left, we've got the existing kitchen area, which is mostly left unchanged except for demoing this portion of the kitchen and a portion of the wall here, so that we have a new island that seems purposefully centered in this kitchen space and in this opening. And then the elements that we demolish here would get moved over and close off the left side here of the existing kitchen, which right now is open and with a door to the garage. We could fill this in with a reach-in pantry and the full-height oven space, and then keep the fridge where it is and the oven where it is, or the cooktop where it is. And then, unfortunately, since we've closed off this window, the window doesn't face directly outside, but by putting the sink here on the island, I do think we have a very commanding view to look out onto the family room and the new dining alcove. I think this is quite nice. And of course, let's not forget that there's a really nice sliding glass door right here right now that leads off into a reasonably sized side yard. So I think this spot, while it doesn't have that same direct connection to the front, is a great spot to stand in, and the kitchen, even though you're not facing directly out of a window. And we have a dining area built onto the back here that goes almost all the way back to the back setback. But I don't want to go, too large, right? We could protrude past this a little bit, but I'd rather not. I think this is quite large enough, and as you know, you've got a bit of a constrained backyard. So by building out this dining area and having some side glass here, and then building a new solid pergola detached from the dining room, we've got a lot of opportunity for 3 sides of glass, just like we talked about during our site visit. And this dining space would be really have a great connection to this pergola space just beyond, but by leaving a gap, it's going to be a lot more daylit here in this dining space, which would then also daylight the family room. So now let's continue to the private side of the house where the 3 bedrooms are. We already talked about this bedroom is actually in the existing space it is now with the existing closet. Past the powder in the bathroom, we would have the guest bedroom here with side windows this way and a pretty decent sized closet here. And then the primary suite has great connection to the backyard, as well as a very large walk-in closet and a nicely sized bathroom with a dual vanity and a large shower. And of course, opportunity for windows here, and perhaps even windows in the walk-in closet so that both of these spaces will be nicely daylit. And of course, your primary bedroom with these sliding glass doors here are going to be very, very brightly lit and very connected to the backyard. But of course, I'm going to want to put some windows above the bed here as well to bring in even more light. So if we do have a skylight here bringing light into the hallway, with this door open, it'll be possible to be seeing light from 3 different sides of the bedroom, which is a very nicely daylit room. And then as we continue to the backyard space, I'm taking advantage of building a new accessory structure for you to house the video game function and the gym space. It's a pretty small space, 10 by 12 is not huge. We won't be able to fit too much equipment in here. This rower is pretty big when it is laid out, but there would be enough space for the rower to be left out and for a couch with fully built-in entertainment system. Or of course it could just be furniture, but I do think that in terms of utilizing the space, it makes sense to just treat this as full-width entertainment system here. And then we would have a bit of a storage space back here. Since we have to keep the rear 5 feet clear because of the public utility easement in the back, we can't build into that, but since we have to have this open space anyways, we might as well take advantage of that circulation space and put a couple doors up back here that'll open out into storage. So you can store a lot of stuff for, either be gym equipment that you want to use outdoors, or just anything that you'd like for the outdoor space, right? Maybe furniture covers, things like that. All that can live in here. Gardening equipment. Okay, I think that pretty much covers the single-story design. I'm really eager to hear your thoughts on this, but I will now stop this video and start your two-story design video.